The funnel is no longer a funnel, it is a conversation. Let me ask you something. Think about the last time you actually needed to find something important, not just a quick fact, not the weather, but something that really mattered. Maybe it was, what's the best way to get out of debt? Or how do I know if the sharp pain in my chest is serious? Or I need to switch careers at 38. Where do I even start? Did you type three words into Google and click a blue link? Or did you open up an AI assistant and just talk to it? Like you talk to a very smart friend who happened to know everything. If you went to the AI, you are not alone. And you are not the future. You are already the present. Because search, as we have known it for 25 years, is dissolving. Right now, in real time, the architecture of how humans find answers is being rebuilt from the ground up. And the shape it's taking is not a search bar, it is a conversation. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here today because this episode is one I have been itching to record for months. We are talking about the single biggest shift in digital marketing and content strategy since mobile overtook desktop. We are talking about the end of the keyword era and the birth of what I'm calling the conversational funnel. And by the time this episode is done, you will understand not just what is changing, but why it changes everything about how you show up, how you structure your content, and how you actually convert people in a world where the funnel is no longer a funnel. It is a conversation. The question is not whether search is becoming conversational. The question is whether your brand is ready to hold that conversation. Let's go back. Let's go back to what search actually was for most of its life. You had a problem, you had a thought, and you compressed that thought into the smallest possible string of words and you typed it in. Best running shoes. Flights Mumbai Delhi. Symptoms of anxiety. 3-4 words. A compressed human need shoved through a query box, hoping the algorithm understood what you actually meant. And for years it worked. It worked well enough. SEO grew into a multi-billion-dollar industry built entirely around that model. You stuff the right words in the right places and the algorithm sends you traffic. The funnel had a top awareness, you found people searching, a middle consideration you had a landing page, and a bottom conversion you had a form or a buy button. Clean, linear, measurable, beautiful even in its simplicity. But here's what that model never actually did. It never served the human being. It served the algorithm. The user was just the entity doing the searching. The real relationship was between the website and Google, and humans adapted their behavior to fit the machine. We taught ourselves to think in keywords. We learned to type like robots so the robots could understand us. That era is over. It did not end dramatically. It did not end with a press conference or a product launch. It ended slowly, then suddenly, gradually, then all at once. The signal that it was over, the moment ordinary people started typing full sentences into search boxes, and the moment search boxes started answering back with full sentences of their own. I want to ground this in numbers because I know some of you are going to go back to your teams or your clients and say things are changing, and someone is going to ask for the receipts. So here are the receipts. More than half of all Google searches now end without a single click. The answer is already there on the results page without the user ever needing to visit a website. And those numbers are going up, not down. Now look at the AI side. AI generated answers are expanding rapidly, reaching billions of users globally. At the same time, tools like chatgpt, Perplexity, and Copilot are becoming everyday search interfaces. And research firms are predicting a significant decline in traditional search traffic in the coming years. This is not a niche. This is not a trend. This is a structural shift in how human beings interact with information. So the data is clear. Search is becoming conversational. Now let's talk about what this actually means for the funnel. In the old model, the funnel had distinct stages: awareness, consideration, conversion. Each stage had its own channel, its own metric. But in a conversational search world, that entire journey can now happen inside a single conversation, A user asks a broad question, gets an answer, refines it, asks a follow up, gets a comparison, asks who the best provider is. They might get your brand mentioned, they might click through, or they might not. The entire journey just happened without a single visit to your website. The funnel used to be something you designed and someone walked through. Now it is something that happens in a conversation you never hear. And this is what I mean when I say the funnel is no longer a funnel. It is a conversation. It is dynamic, responsive, and it happens at the user's pace in the user's language. So what does a conversational funnel look like? The first layer is the entry query, a broad exploratory question. This is awareness. The second layer is the follow-up prompt. The user asks something more specific. This is consideration. The third layer is the decision prompt. The moment of intent, this is conversion. Let me make this real. In just a few turns of conversation, a user can go from awareness to a short list of brands without ever visiting a website. If your brand does not appear in that moment, you do not exist in that journey. And this applies across industries. E-commerce, B2B, personal finance, the structure is the same. Entry query, follow-up prompts, decision prompt. This is the conversational funnel. So what do you actually do? First, write for questions, not keywords. Your content should follow the full arc of how a human thinks. Second, the first few lines matter more than ever. Answer immediately. Third, think in answer clusters, not isolated pages, but connected answers across the journey. Fourth, structure your content so machines can understand it, because AI needs to extract and represent your answers clearly. And fifth, be the source, not just the destination. You may not always get the click, but you will get the influence. Zero click visibility still builds trust. It drives future decisions. Now let me give you a simple action framework. Map out the full sequence of questions your customers ask. Audit your content against those questions. Rewrite your key pages to answer clearly and immediately. Then test how your brand shows up in AI conversations. Because what is coming next is even bigger. AI is moving from answering questions to taking actions. Comparing products, filling forms, even initiating purchases. Voice is also accelerating. Search is becoming something people speak, not type. And conversational behavior is moving into B2B as well. Your buyers are already having AI-powered conversations before they ever talk to your sales team. So I want to leave you with this. For years, we optimized for machines. Keywords, algorithms, metrics, but on the other end of every search is a human being. Someone confused, curious, worried, or excited. What is happening now is not just a technological shift. It is a return to something more human. People want to interact with information conversationally, naturally, in their own words. And the brands that win will be the ones who understand their customers deeply enough to anticipate every question they might ask. The ones who build for the journey, not just the click. The ones who accept that sometimes the funnel is invisible, the funnel is no longer a funnel, it is a conversation. And the question is not whether you are ready to have that conversation. The question is whether when your customer has that conversation with an AI, your brand is part of it. If it is not, you are invisible. And invisible is the only failure mode that matters. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this changed how you think about search, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, keep asking better questions, because the future belongs to the people who know how to have better conversations.